back on golf today. It's time for an architect spotlight as we focus on one of the busier guys in the sport, Beau Welling. He's actually a busier guy in two sports, as we'll explain. You'll know most of his work from the Omni PGA Frisco, which is north of Dallas, Texas, the headquarters now of the PGA of America, renovating Ocean Forest as well, and a senior design consultant with TGR Design helping Tiger create Paynes Valley at Big Cedar Lodge and Blue Jack National outside of Houston.
A few more notable projects: Atlanta Country Club, Greenwich Country Club, not too far from our home at NBC Sports in Stamford, Pelican Golf Club, PGA Frisco, as Eamon mentioned, Stanford Golf Course as well. Now get this, in addition to his role as an architect on his own projects and his work as the lead design consultant for Tiger's TGR Designs, Beau Welling also happens to be the president of the World Curling Federation, the WCF. He is currently in his second year as president, and great to have Beau Welling with us right now. In an article in Golf Digest, Beau, you called yourself the Forest Gump of curling. What did you mean?
Well, as a boy that grew up in Greenville, South Carolina, there are not many people that are, dreaming of becoming involved in the Winter Olympic sport of curling. But I got bitten by the bug watching on television, and the more I learned about curling, the more fascinated I got. And that ultimately led me to go see it firsthand in a place called Bemidji, Minnesota, at the U.S. National Championships. And from there, this sort of crazy story starts happening where I keep meeting more and more people throughout the curling ecosystem, and ultimately got involved with the board of USA Curling, ultimately helped change how things kind of worked at USA Curling, and ended up getting involved with the World Curling, ended up going to Vancouver Winter Olympics, Sochi Winter Olympics, Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, and then ultimately ended up on the board of World Curling. And then 2 years ago was elected to the president of the International Federation that supports curling for the Olympics. So it feels like a Forrest Gump sort of story, bouncing my way through curling.
See, this is a warning to you, Beau. Whenever you start volunteering and doing stuff they ask you to do even more.
I learned that, even.
I just tried curling when I was in Montreal a couple of months ago, and you won't be surprised to know it's yet another sport I have no coordination for at all. But the gentleman who was instructing my group that day did say that there is a golf connection, one that's pretty close to Royal Troon, where the Open is next week.
Yeah, that's true. So I like to say that both golf and curling are both ancient Scottish sports. They both started in Scotland about the same time, and curling really started in northern Scotland, where it was too cold to play golf in the winter. They started throwing stones on frozen fens, frozen ponds. But all curling stones come from Ailsa Craig, which is that big rock, the big island that you see off the coast of Troon. I'm sure it'll be in many shots over the weekend. But all that granite there is some of the hardest rock on the planet Earth, and so we quarry from that rock once a year, and Kays of Scotland is the longtime vendor maker of curling stones, but all the raw material it comes from those images that you're showing right now. So it's pretty unique. And when you play Troon, you play Prestwick, you play Turnberry, you look out and you see Ailsa Craig, and it almost looks like a curling stone, but it's a really special place, and it's very much part of the fabric of the sport of curling.
It does look like a curling stone, or perhaps the head of the Kraken, if you're into Greek mythology. Any other links between golf and curling in terms of the endeavor themselves, maybe the touch required with the broom and the stone, and maybe compared to a 60-degree wedge?
Yeah, absolutely. So, they're both ancient Scottish sports, but angles are important in both sports. They both have sort of weird terminology and jargon. They're both sports based on values and integrity. You call your own fouls in both sports, and they're both camaraderie based. And I would even argue that both are sort of excuses maybe to have a drink of scotch or whatnot. But it's really been interesting to start. I started the Palmetto Curling Club in Greenville, South Carolina. One of those pictures was the inception of the Palmetto Curling Club. And what's been interesting to see is getting people on ice who had never been on ice before. But if they have a golf background, they pick it up radically faster. And I think it's because it's sort of like team putting. So you read the ice conditions are going to change as the rock goes down the surface of ice. It'll curve or curl, sometimes 4 to 8 feet laterally. So there's this real precision to all of that. And where it differs from golf is you have a putt, let's say in golf, that is going to break. And as soon as you hit it, you've known you've not hit it with enough pace for the line you've chosen. in curling, you can scream at your teammates to sweep, and they can go affect the trajectory of that stone, and in essence, keep that stone or ball on line. So it's really a team effort to get the stones in position, some 50 yards away from where the stone is released.
Who complains more, Beau? Is it golfers about the golf course, or is it curlers about the rink?
It's very, very similar. So when you'll notice that when a golfer is complaining, I always say, well, go check their score. And the same sort of true with curling. So if a curling person is complaining about ice, they tend to have a few more losses in the column than wins. So I think this would be another commonality between golf and curling.
I got one more potentially, Beau. I read there are golf clubs that double as curling clubs in the winter. Any famous examples of that?
Yeah, I mean, so the origin of the sport really in the northern hemisphere, in our hemisphere, in the Americas, was really they dovetail together, especially in cold weather places. So lots of golf and curling clubs in Canada, but here in the United States, probably the most famous would be the country club. So the country club still has an active curling operation there in Brookline. So obviously world-class golf, but also has world-class curling.
Let's move on to grass from ice for a moment. But what are you working on these days in terms of your golf course design business?
Well, I mean, we've got a lot going on, so and it's great. I keep telling my younger guys that this is the most exciting time in my 28-year career because so much is going on. So we've just broken ground on a couple of big new 18-hole golf courses in Texas. So a place called the Travis Club outside of Austin, a place called Freestone just south of Dallas. We actually have a project under construction in Scotland, a place called Taymouth Castle. So James Braid history there. So it's been sort of super exciting to kind of work on that. Finishing up some big renovations. They one at Lake Norman in Charlotte, North Carolina, a place called the Peninsula Club. About to start in my home course, Greenville Country Club, a place called Chanticleer. So it's where I grew up playing golf. So it's either going to be the funnest project I've ever done or singly the stupidest attempt at anything I've ever tried to do. But I'm excited about it. And then we are continuing to help TGR. So we got a great project going with Mike Trout in Southern New Jersey. Just started working really hard on something in Park City, Utah called Marcella, and a second golf course in Cabo at Diamante. So the airlines like me right now because I seem to be paying them lots of money to get around to all these places. But it's super, super exciting.
Beau, even with the unknowns in the professional game, are you still seeing and hearing anecdotally that people are playing golf and flocking to golf courses and wanting to learn the games? What are you hearing and seeing on the ground?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a data guy, so I'm always kind of looking at the data, and I think this COVID effect remains very prevalent and sticky. I think we as an industry have started to realize that we need to make golf, much more accessible to bring new people in. And I think the industry's macro doing a very good job of that. I think this rise of the short course and all these putting experiences are great sort of ways to onboard people. I think the other big thing kind of I see going on is the lapsed golfer has really come back. COVID helped them find golf again. It happens every week. I'll run into somebody that'll say, I stopped playing golf because life got in the way. And then during COVID, I started playing again. And now I'm back playing two, 3 times a week. So I think all that's great. And then, the population's kind of moving around and, where people are moving into, there's lots of golf development. So hence why, we're working hard in Texas, and we've got another. I forgot a renovation in Florida, and I'm in Georgia looking at something new right now, and Carolinas, and so in Mountain West. So it's all great. And another project I forgot to mention is we're working in Stowe, Vermont, historic Stowe Country Club, and to see even Stowe has really sort of exploded in terms of the amount of people that are coming up there and wanting to be in such a great, incredible environment. Golf's a big part of that too. So it's a super exciting time, and I think it's going to stay that way.
Well, Beau, I'm going to be checking out your work at Taymouth Castle in Scotland in a couple of weeks. So if the fairways aren't wide enough, you can expect to hear from me. Appreciate you spending some time with us.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great day. Appreciate it.
And you, Beau Welling. All right, folks, we're counting down the days until the 152nd Open at Royal Troon. Coming up next, we're catching up with Elvis Smiley, who will make his Open debut after advancing through final qualifying. Wait till you hear his backstory and family connection. That's next.